Something strange happened while I was sleeping. Every hair on my body stood up. I looked toward the door. A stranger was standing in my bedroom. I stayed frozen in bed. The figure moved closer to me. My heart was pounding out of control. Thank God it was just a dream. The next day, I ran into my neighbor. I casually mentioned last night's dream. He told me something unsettling. A girl used to live in this house. Months later, she developed paranoia. She kept saying something was inside the house. Her parents came looking for her. They found her dead from a heart attack. My stomach dropped. I went home and bought security cameras. If someone was really there, they couldn't hide. I installed them everywhere I could. I sat in the living room waiting. Half an hour passed. I was about to fall asleep. A loud banging on the door woke me up. A man in black stood outside. He said someone was chasing him. He begged me to open the door. I didn't dare.
Please come inside. Open the door.
It's no warmer in here. You need to leave, now!
Seconds later, people crowded outside every window. I told them to leave. They didn't listen. The pounding gave me a splitting headache.
I never opened the fucking door! Just leave! Just leave! Just leave!
I collapsed on the floor and blacked out. Morning came. Nothing in the house had been touched. I checked the footage. A stranger had broken in, but he didn't take anything. I noticed a trail of water on the living room floor. I went out and bought a gun. I installed even more cameras. I thought I could finally sleep in peace, but that night I started sleepwalking. I opened the front door and walked outside. Then I walked back in. Footsteps jolted me awake.
Who is it?
I grabbed my gun and searched the house. The cameras had been torn down. A steel pipe lay on the floor. The front door was wide open. I rushed outside and bumped into my neighbor. I told him someone had broken in. We went inside and found nothing. He said I was overthinking it. He suggested I see a therapist. Sirens wailed outside. My neighbor went out to handle it for me. I started to suspect he was the one scaring me. Maybe he wanted me gone. The next day, I stayed at a friend's house. I lay in bed, unable to sleep. That man was all I could think about. I felt like he was still following me. Midnight. My phone buzzed with a camera alert. My neighbor was standing at my front door. I drove back immediately. I pulled out my gun and confronted him.
What are you doing in my house? Get that thing out of my face and I'll tell you.
No, man.
Give me the gun, Michael.
He said he came because he was worried about me. I started to wonder if I really was losing it. The next day I went to a therapist. I told her everything. She said my mental state was unstable. She suggested I change my environment, but I definitely saw that man on camera. That night, I fell asleep sitting by the door. Someone walked up and saw I wasn't responding. Then he noticed the camera and backed away. I woke up with a jolt. I ran outside and asked an officer if he saw anyone break in. He looked at me like I was crazy. The next day, I packed my bags. I decided to go stay with my parents. While I was on the phone, I noticed some fallen cotton fibers on the floor. I pulled up the camera footage. Last night, while I was asleep by the door, someone had been inside.